Welcome in, Virgo Collective. Let's get into this March energy reading for you. This is going to be a very powerful month. So first, we're going to talk about the astrological impact. We're going to talk about the astrological shifts. We're going to go deeper with some oracle and some tarot messages. But I do feel March is deeply going to impact all major Virgo placements. We've got mid-month a Virgo full moon eclipse. And so I think this month is going to bring forward a very intense transformation. Definitely going to bring forward breakthroughs. A recalibration is really what I want to say. Mid-month is really shining a spotlight on your personal growth, your karmic cycles, and something connected to destiny, from Venus retrograde in Aries to Mercury entering into Aries and later stationing retrograde just before the eclipse. Communication, relationships, inner healing, all of this is going to be taking center stage for my Virgo collective. The spring equinox, the sun shift into Aries, all of this is igniting fresh energy. We can't forget about Neptune entering into Aries later in the month. This is signaling long-term spiritual awakening. We've got Lilith moving into Scorpio. This is going to activate deep emotional truths. We've got that Aries solar eclipse on March 29th at the end of the month. And this is it, Virgo. This is setting the stage for bold new beginnings. And so I do think March is going to be a month of revelations. I think there's going to be a realignment. This is definitely going to be connected to your soul's evolution, but I do feel the massive turning point for Virgos is going to be mid-month during the full moon eclipse. I do think this is going to illuminate a personal transformation. There very well could be an ending. There could be a new path opening up, but this is it, Virgo. This is a powerful, powerful moment for release, for shedding old patterns, for stepping into alignment with your higher purpose. If your nodes are in Virgo Pisces, this eclipse could feel especially fated. Oh my goodness, we got two cards out. We get the Wormwood. It's a 48 card. And so there is an Eight of Cups quality to the Wormwood. And we get the Oleander card, which is a 14 card. And so there is this energy, I feel, of karmic freedom coming through for you, Virgo. And look at that, the bottom of the deck. We get the Lover card. So this is pretty loud. The Lover for me, whether it's an oracle message or it's a tarot card of the Lover's card, it is a clear indication that you have to make a choice between two. It definitely feels like a major karmic reset. I don't know if this is connected to generational wounding, but I heard spiritual courage. And so right now I feel you're in this portal of dissolving old illusions, some type of energy of purification. I think, Virgo, you are being pushed to redefine your dreams, to connect to newfound boldness. I do feel you are releasing patterns. You're releasing what no longer serves you. You're finding harmony. I do think the energies of March are calling you to pay attention to your energetic field. I do feel the eclipses are bringing through a major breakthrough. And I do think you've got to really figure out what patterns are you connected to that are depleting your energy. You could be dealing with an energetic parasite. You could be dealing with a person, almost like an entity, I want to say, like an entity type energy. And you've got to dissolve this. There is a very destructive attachment that is connected to you, Virgo, and you've got to let this go in order to restore your energy levels and your vibrancy. And you got to trust. You got to trust in the spiritual blueprint of your life, because right now I think you are coming into greater clarity. There could be some subconscious fears here that need to be confronted. I just feel a deep transformation, a deep cosmic realization. Something in the month of March is bringing forward a game changer. There is a need to walk away. You're going to have to release something that is no longer serving you in order to find that harmony, and you got to trust. And so I do feel higher chakra energy. So you could be receiving downloads, you could be receiving visions, prophetic dreams, and there is a need to kind of temper something here. And so sacral chakra energy, there is the energy of the Temperance card coming out, and I do feel this is activating some type of higher cosmic blueprint. So you're going to have to trust the process, and you're really going to need to stay grounded, because this is a very magical change. It feels heavy. I got a very strong wave of almost like vertigo there. And so there's some type of debris. I want to say energetic debris. There's a blockage. There's a blockage when it comes to your spiritual path here. And it could be a circumstance that maybe you've avoided dealing with. But I think you're being tested in your faith. And I do think you are being called to put your faith into a higher power, especially if you're feeling this ache of existential loneliness. I don't know why I'm feeling the loneliness. The Lover card, though, is saying whatever you've been dreaming about, it's about to come true. I don't know if somebody has recently taken advantage of you, but I think you need help channeling all of these light code activations. I feel a renewal, almost like a divine spiritual reordering. And I want to remind you, Virgo, you are never alone. You're not alone. So don't give up. We got to remember on the spiritual path, we are never given more than we can handle. And so know that you are loved. Know that you are supported. I just feel these energies are really playing out very heavily for you. And with the Lover's card, I do feel a heaviness on the heart. So you're being asked to find your center. The Lovers is an unconditional loving connection. And so forgiveness is also a message. I do feel a heaviness in the heart, which is the fourth chakra. But the heart is the home to love and compassion, not only for ourselves, but for others. And so this Lover's card is the embodiment of truth. And love really is all there is in the world, right? Hate is simply the absence of love. And so I think you're kind of tapping into the archetype of the Lover's card. And you are being asked to get back in the flow with love. And so maybe you've withheld love, or maybe love has been withheld from you. Maybe there's a denial of love. There's a denial or like a deprivation of joy and fulfillment. And love, joy, compassion, fulfillment, it's our birthright, Virgo. So how can you choose love over everything else? There is a need, I feel, to put aside some type of past grievance. There is a judgment. I'm getting chills down the one side of my face right now. And so pride, I feel, has been a block as part of the next stage of your spiritual evolution. And so call on your support. I do feel there is a very shadowy energy, right? The Lovers really is a choice between two. You can choose unconditional love, or you can spiral into toxic centered love. And so there's a mistruth or an untruth here, and there could be reaction from a place of fear. Ego seeks entitlement. Ego seeks to continue the spiral of hurt and pain and fear. And so I want to say, don't take anything personally in the month of March. There could be a codependency here that needs to be walked away from. There could be a re-examination of your motives in order to shift into a higher perspective. But I do think you need to balance your personal power with an open heart. And so there could be a heart opening here in the month of March. But let's go a little bit further here with the tarot, and let's see what else needs to come through for you, Virgo. I almost was going to say Leo. So check to see where you have Leo in your chart. You could be dealing with a Leo. But let's see what this is all about. What is this all about? Well, we got the Six of Wands. You saw it. It flipped right out sideways. So any card that comes out sideways is a challenge. And so there is some type of confrontation. There could be some type of battle here with no resolution in sight. But ultimately, the Six of Wands is saying you get to choose the next steps forward. So what is this all about? Well, we get the Wheel of Fortune. So this is definitely connected to the eclipses. The eclipses are fated energy. And we get the Seven of Swords. So Seven of Swords is a challenge, right? I do feel there's blocks. I also feel this energy of repressed heartbreak. If you notice here, he's kind of carrying the Three of Swords in one hand, the Two of Swords in another. And then we get this Two of Swords up on the wall. And so there is without a doubt a challenge here when it comes to movement forward. And it very well could be connected to some type of communication pattern. There's definitely a challenge. Definitely a challenge here. So this challenge definitely could be connected to maybe fear of embracing success. It's almost like a deep sense of self-doubt. Or maybe you're feeling like nobody sees you. Maybe you are struggling with external validation. But whenever a card appears in a sideways position, it does indicate a challenge. And so I do feel, though, you're on the edge of some type of breakthrough. You're on the edge of a breakthrough, but something I feel might be blocking your confidence when it comes to leaving something behind. I feel a very intense energy of internal fear and anxiety. And this definitely could be connected to some type of external situation that hasn't yet aligned. But this is clearly an indication of a turning point. And so there is a shift in fate. I do believe this is connected to divine timing, also likely connected to that eclipse energy middle of the month. And so whether you're ready or not, the universe is pushing for this change. And so resistance, I feel resistance. And the Seven of Swords, I feel, is complicating some type of transition. So there could be a need to confess. I do feel a very heavy theme of deception, possibly even avoidance of some type of truth here with this Two of Swords energy on the card. And so there could be a challenge connected to communication, connected to trust issues. I do feel you are being challenged to walk away from something that really isn't serving you anymore. But the hesitation is connected to uncertainty about whether there'll be success walking away. And so it's almost like you're staying in this energy of leaving something unfinished out of fear. And I also feel this energy of like moving strategically behind the scenes, behind somebody's back, sneakily. Or this could be connected to leaving behind old patterns. It definitely has a very deceptive influence, almost like a self-sabotaging behavior here. And so I think this ties very closely into that Virgo eclipse. There's a release, there's a realignment, there's a karmic cycle here. There is like a major transition here. So I think you really need to ask yourself, what are you holding on to out of fear of the unknown? Is there deception from yourself? Or is there deception from another here that needs to be revealed before you can move forward? And that might not come to light until the eclipse energy. Are you willing to trust in divine timing with the Wheel of Fortune? Even if things don't feel right, because I do feel there's a necessary shift, a necessary release. And this is definitely going to require honesty. It's going to require courage to walk away. And then eventually when you walk away, this Six of Wands won't be sideways. It can be turned upright. And that's when the victory comes. But I do think there's fear of the unknown here. The energy of this tornado, I want to say, connected to this Eight of Wands, signifies you're not going to see this coming. There could be an unstoppable force here of communication, which is going to bring in massive revelations, massive changes. This is the energy of clearing the path, whether you're ready for it or not. And so I do feel it's going to feel like a tornado of information. It could feel like an abundance of downloads, messages flying in, shifts happening at lightning speed. I always think of like the Wizard of Oz, and I actually watch the movie Wicked, and sometimes you got to be the bad guy even though you're not, right? But I feel there's a sense of everything picking up all at once, whether it's incoming clarity, a conversation that's going to shift your path. There could be unexpected news that spirals you out of stagnation, moving you forward, ready or not. And so this really does tie into you stepping into victory and releasing those fears. And so what I want to say is this change is inevitable. This change is going to hurt. It's going to be painful. It's going to be confusing. I do feel this is really an energy of like a break. Maybe somebody will finally break their silence. Maybe somebody will finally be able to take action. But there is clearing past deception. And I do think there's been some type of heartbreak that has been avoided. Maybe there's been avoidance when it comes to an ending. I just feel like the book needs to close. Realizing a pattern that I feel is unmasking some type of hidden motivations. This is really a destined course of action. And so what is this storm? It's like the storm before the breakthrough. So what is this storm all about? What is this storm of communication? What is being stirred up that is making a new way, that is making way for something new to begin? What is this storm about for Virgo? Well, we got a fallout. We got a big mess here, Virgo, and I'm not going to take the cards that fell, but we will take the Chariot. So you got a big decision to make here. Cancer energy. You could be dealing with a Cancer. You could have major Cancer in your chart. You're going to go this way. You're going to go that way. But what these cards are clearly indicating is some sense of entrapment. You're feeling stuck. You're feeling trapped, unable to move forward. You got to take the blinders off. You got to take the rose-colored glasses off here because you're in a cycle, I feel, filled with lack. There's some type of fear of abandonment. I feel even if you're in a connection, you're feeling all alone and you're feeling trapped and you don't know how to break free. But with the Eight of Swords, all you got to do is take the blinders off. All you got to do is take the blindfold off, untie your hands, and move out of that cage. It's like a self-imposed prison here, a mental prison here. And I do feel there's an ending. And I feel there's a need to cut that final cord. And the Chariot energy is saying there is victory here. The Chariot card upright is victory. It is success. But you might have to take charge of a situation. You might have to get in the driver's seat and you might have to cut cords with somebody here. Virgo, get ready to break free. Get ready to break free and move forward because I do feel there is some type of obstacle here. There is some type of loss. There's abandonment. There's feeling left out in the cold. There's a cycle of lack, disconnection here. Almost like either someone is keeping you feeling stuck in this cycle of lack and disconnection, or you're doing it to yourself. I do feel this is a clear indication of emotional wounds connected to rejection, connected to even financial struggles. And so this is a self-imposed prison. It's a self-imposed limitation of fear and doubt. You are not powerless. You are not powerless. And so there is a situation here that does need to come to an end. It needs to be transformed. The Death card, I feel, is the universe forcing a shift. There's no staying in this energy anymore. Whether you want to stay here or not, you can't. It has to fall away. It has to end. And the Virgo full moon eclipse is playing a major role here, I think, serving and acting as a catalyst for this transformation. So you could be dealing with a Scorpio. But I feel March is bringing forward an exposure of what needs to be left behind. The cycle is ending. You can't go into the new cycle until you have this ending. And so there is a major breaking point in March. I don't know if you're stuck in fear. I don't know if you're stuck in not being able to find your strength to overcome something. But there is an ending. Death is an ending. It's a major ending. It's going to lead to an entirely new path. And so I feel like you're in a deadlock situation and you need to break free. You need to break open. And so you are at a pivotal moment. You got to decide, am I going to stay or am I going to go? Am I going to stay in the darkness or am I going to step into the light? Because I do feel whether you want it or not, the universe is clearing the path and you are in a major portal of a powerful rebirth. So let's get a spiritual journey oracle card and let's see how we can close this reading off for you, Virgo. What is the final message for my Virgo collective? Keep in mind you can apply this to Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node, but let's get that final message out for you. Soul awakening. You are part of a massive global awakening, and I do feel this eclipse is waking you up to what it is that you need to let go of. So there's a release. You kind of got to let the universe do its job. I know Virgo energy quite well. I am a Virgo moon, and Virgo does seek to control a lot of things. I don't think you're in control. This entire reading is pointing to a major soul awakening. Your soul is being pushed, Virgo, beyond its previous limitations, so you can tap into that higher state of consciousness. Oh, all of these energies, I feel, the Chariot, the Five of Pentacles, the Eight of Swords, the Death card, this is a huge indication of a profound shift in perception, self-awareness, surrendering control. How can you surrender control to the greater plan, to the divine plan? Because you've got to break free. There is so much struggle here in the energies, and I do feel it is due to some type of ego conditioning connected to fears. I do feel you've got to release this illusion of being in control. You are not in control. There is a belief here that needs to get upheaved. Something is unfolding in a certain way, and I don't think you feel safe, and I think it's time to let it go. This, I'm telling you, Virgo, this is so loud. You are in a major portal of a paradigm shift. This is so freaking loud. And so release the limiting beliefs. Release the scarcity mindset. There are some unconscious fears, I think, that have kept you stuck in a cycle of self-sabotaging patterns. This is a cosmic wake-up call. And so the universe is asking you, are you ready to step into your power? Are you ready to let go? Are you ready to embrace what's meant for you? Because this is a clear indication here. You got to walk away from something. You got to walk away from somebody or something that keeps you in this cycle of sabotaging behaviors. And I feel the universe is forcing this realignment. There's this unseen force of change. And these old structures have to collapse in order for the new to emerge. And so I think once upon a time, things kind of felt impossible. And now things are changing so fast. You don't even know what's happening. It might even feel like your head is spinning. But the moment you stop resisting is the moment everything starts to shift. And that's what I got for you, Virgo.